Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing a review slash discussion about Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. We just got back seeing it, so we're going to give our thoughts, talk about the film, and give it a good review. Before we get into this discussion slash review, give us a like, subscribe, comment down below, and tap that bell so you don't miss any of our videos or future videos. Alright, so let's get into it. So obviously we just got back seeing it. I thought it was an awesome movie.
Yeah, I thought it was good too.
I thought J.J. Abrams put together an awesome storytelling movie. I thought it had a good definitive ending for the original characters. Also, by the way, just for everyone heads up, this is a spoiler review video, so if you do not want to hear anything we're about to say about the movie, you could stop right here. We'll give you a second to pause. Alright, now let's get into it. So let's start off with the beginning. Obviously it shows Kylo and his troops, the First Order, going to battle against someone. We don't really know.
I don't know who they were supposed to be.
They're on a very red planet with huge trees.
I think they were supposed to just symbolize them showing their force or in putting their, what do we call it, their strength over people.
Yeah, they're showing
people get people to be scared of them.
Yeah, and obviously Kylo's enraged because in the opening crawl it shows that there's an intelligence, and people and the Resistance and the First Order thought the voice that was coming through was Emperor Palpatine, which obviously it was. So Kylo Ren finds the Sith. It's like a compass slash tracker, and it leads to the Sith planet where Palpatine is located. Well, it was called Hexagon, I think. That was the name of it, Hexagon, or something like that.
Was that ice?
No, it's Hexagon. It begins with the E, then X.
Oh, I thought it was something to do with ice or something like that.
No, it's clearly you weren't paying.
I don't know. Whatever.
So Kylo gets the tracker on the planet. We'll figure out the name of that planet. But he gets the tracker.
No, before we go in front, I thought the tracker, you might not know this, I thought the tracker looked like a holocron. That's what I thought when I first saw it. It's there was different holocrons. They contained information about the Sith.
Okay. All right, I understand. Yeah, because we'll get into that. What I was about to say before I get into the movie.
Sorry.
So Kylo gets the tracker thing, and he basically goes to the planet where he wants to kill Palpatine, because he's like, look, he's basically saying to himself, like, no one, like, I'm a leader. I don't need anyone else coming in and try taking over. So Kylo gets to the planet, and he gets on this pad, and it brings him down, and there are statues, and the statues are, some are Sith and some are Jedi. And so as he's walking through, Palpatine goes, "At last," which he basically says, "Dude, I don't really care. I'm just gonna kill you." And he's basically saying, "My boy," and all that. And he's saying all this stuff, and Kylo eventually finds him. Well, before that, then, the voices of Snoke and Vader appear, and he's getting all rage, and he turns his lightsaber and was going to kill Palpatine, but then he's laughing at him. He's like, "Oh, if you don't kill me, I'll give you everything. I'll make you more." And Kylo gives in. He's like, "Okay, what do you want me to do?" He's like, "Go kill the girl, Rey, because she's a Jedi." So he obviously listens to him, and so on. So then they show the Resistance going back to that jungle planet where Leia and the Resistance are on.
Right, yeah. And
so then they all meet, and they basically say there's something alarming. And they reveal Palpatine's still alive, and everyone that was there was shocked. Because some of the people that are on that planet, the rebels, some of them were in the battle of Endor. And they're like, "There's no way, he has to be dead." Like, no, he's alive. And so and Rey found this book that Luke had, in which it details where to find the compass that Kylo had. And so she basically says, "We have to find this, and this is where Palpatine is." But the Resistance, they find out that Palpatine had a plan, and he had all these Star Destroyers underneath the ground, and he was basically building them for years as a part of his plan. And so the Resistance, like, well, this is just it. There's only like 100 of them, and that's it. And they're going up against an army of hundreds of thousands.
Right.
So then eventually, they go on this desert planet to get information about where it might be on some person ship.
That some guy took Rey's parents because Palpatine ordered him to go get her, but they hit her, so he took the parents and he ended up killing the parents. Again, I don't forget the guy's name was. And on this desert planet,
they never revealed the parents' names. I don't think they did.
No, I don't think they actually said their names, but they knew they were Palpatine's. But that would be his son and daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
I think so. Because that turns out Rey is his granddaughter.
Yeah, which obviously means it's a grandfather.
I don't know, but that kind of surprised me a little bit.
I agree.
Not too much. I mean, I never expected. I was kind of hoping that. Excuse me. That maybe she wasn't a bad person. Maybe not a Palpatine.
Yeah, that kind of blew my mind away too when Kylo told her that she was a Palpatine and I kind of knew this was hinted because there was a scene where they were on the desert planet where Chewbacca, the first Chewbacca was trying to tell Rey that they gotta go, but the Resistance caught Chewbacca and they arrested him, took him in as a prisoner, and so they're on this ship like a ship, not big. It's one of those troop carrier ships, and so Rey's using the Force to try to bring the ship down, and Kylo shows up because Rey destroys his Star Destroyer, his personal ship, that's destroyed. So they're battling to get the troop carrier thing down, and as they're doing it, Rey's hand.
Sorry about that.
It's fine. Does lightning, and I said to myself, I said, wait a minute, she's got to be a Palpatine then. If this was lightning coming out of her hand, and I knew I'm like, you know what? I bet I'm right, and I was right because Kylo said you're the granddaughter.
That kind of made me think that. Originally thought they too before they, realized who she was. All of a sudden, lightning comes shooting out of her hand, and did you think she killed Chewie? But she found out that he somehow survived.
Yeah, he was on a different troop carrier.
Even though I didn't see another one. I didn't see another one.
There was like 3 of them that landed, and she thought the one he was on, she thought she killed him. So fast track that ends in basically Rey, they have to find a way to get Chewie back, and so they figure out, oh, he's still alive, like she can sense something. And so then they go to this city, the city where Poe meets some girl that apparently hates him for turning on her and all that. And so
I think that was Kerry Russell's character. They never showed her face. All they showed was her eyes. So I think that was her. Pretty sure.
We'll have to double check on that, but
I think that was her.
But that was a pretty cool city. I kind of like it. But it was also first order control because stormtroopers are barging in people's houses.
Yeah, I think they just showed up when because they were looking for Rey or Rey's friends or whatever.
They were looking for all of them.
All of a sudden they all show up. Then they go from like door to door, killing people looking for these, looking for Rey and her friends.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And so she basically ask her to come with them and help because she's good at fighting and all that. So she's like, okay, I'll help you guys, despite I hate Poe. And they bicker and argue. And so then, I missed something before that. I forgot the 3PO when they wiped out his memory.
Was that before that?
I think it was, yeah. No.
Because they had the little guy, the little character.
All right, I'm sorry. So that's next. So they basically said, well, they had the Sith dagger, the sword thing, and it had Sith co-writing on it.
Sith writing on it.
But problem is, 3PO is programmed with 25 trillion languages, and out of all of them, he can't talk Sith. So they basically, and the creature was saying, well, the only way we could do it is just by wiping out all.
I thought it was funny how he said, well, I can't read it, but my program really won't allow me to read it. So he could have, but his program wouldn't let him. I thought it was funny how Then one time we want you to talk. So one time you talk, you can't talk.
Yeah.
So that was kind of funny how they.
So obviously they go ahead with the plan and they wipe out it, and 3PO is talking all evil. He's like Sith Lord. This is what it says. It's on Hexagon or whatever. So he talks and then he dies and then he comes back and he forget he's like, I'm C3PO, human cyborg in relations. he's like who are you people? And Poe goes, yeah, I'm gonna have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But so then they finally figure out where it is, and that's where they get to the desert planet, which I totally backtrack. So I'm sorry. There's a lot in this film that I got to cover.
I think we can maybe shorten it up a little bit, say going from scene to scene.
Yeah.
I think overall the way there's the scenes where.
How about I summarize it? Basically, they get the little dagger thing on Kylo's ship. Rey goes to Hexagon, then she lands. Goes.
Well, first she went to not Act 2. The
Hexagon.
No, the planet where Luke was originally hiding.
Oh, sorry, Act 2. I think that's how you say it.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
So originally she goes there because she decides she's going to go hide because she feels bad.
And she burns Kylo's ship.
Yeah, she feels bad because she thought she killed Chewie and that she failed and she was afraid. And then Luke shows up.
I was about to say that.
Luke shows up.
My boy Luke shows up
as a Force ghost, which was kind of because she throws away the lightsaber like he did in the last episode.
And he basically says, the reason why I came here was because I feared because of I trained Ben. I was wrong about. I should have never been scared. I should have never acted like a jerk. That's what he's basically saying. And so he's like, well, there's something I want you to have. And he gets Leia's lightsaber. And then they show like in the background scene, which I thought was cool because they de-aged Luke and had a CGI Leia, which was cool.
Like they showed like a flashback to when they showed them training with lightsabers, with the blast shield down so they couldn't see each other as they were fighting with each other. That was kind of cool because I wasn't expecting that scene at all.
But Leia didn't really want to be a Jedi. Like she thought she wasn't really ready for it. She gave Luke her lightsaber, so Luke gave Leia her lightsaber.
No, he gave Rey Leia's lightsaber.
Exactly.
Yes.
So he goes, oh, one more thing. Then all of a sudden you hear this noise like as it's something's being lit, and this blew my mind out too. Luke was lifting his old X-Wing Red 5 out of the river, which I thought was awesome. I thought that was an awesome scene.
It was an ocean. It wasn't a river.
Sorry, ocean. What do you want to say? Don't criticize me. So, his old Red 5 ship.
Yeah, that was pretty cool when they did that.
And the music, and I noticed there was a lot of music they used from the old.
That was the music from when he was on Dagobah with Yoda.
Yeah, and the other cool music too I liked was when Rey entered the Emperor's old throne.
It was kind of like that.
That blew my mind.
That was the music from
when Vader died.
Yeah. Was it when Vader died? Was it? I always get the confusion.
It was when Vader died.
It was like this ominous, kind of.
Sorry, I've rewatched them all like 100 times, so I'm good.
I've only seen them.
No, but I thought that was cool because obviously John Williams and J.J. Abrams said before the film they were saying that you pretty much used like some music from every single movie 1 through 8 and plus new ones for 9.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool to get that conclusion feel into it. And
yeah, I like how they paid homage to all the different movies throughout. I know some people didn't like that, but I thought that was kind of cool how they did that. They made sure to include little bits from all the various movies that have already happened before this one.
And so then Rey gets in Luke's ship and goes to Hexagon to face Palpatine. So she gets there and she's going through the little hallway and all that, and she finally sees him, and he basically says, "Oh, you finally arrived," and he's basically trying to tell her, "Join me. Like if you join, we'll rule together as one whole empire." And I was strange by this. She actually gives in and was about to actually kill him, but so at the same time the resistance shows up. And that's when they start going to battle with all the Star Destroyers and TIE fighters.
And then Kylo showed up, and he starts fighting the Knights of Ren.
His own,
but without his lightsaber, because he had thrown it away when
Han showed up.
When Han Solo showed up back on the.
That was a very emotional scene.
Yeah, did you mention that?
No.
There was a scene where
Han Solo.
Where Kylo almost dies and Rey saves him because she sticks him with the lightsaber, so he almost dies. But then she has to save him because she feels bad.
And Han Solo and basically says, I really miss you. You're screwing up your whole life. Like, you need to not. It's like you're not Kylo Ren. You're Ben Solo. And he's like, Dad, like, you're right. Like, and he starts crying and he tosses his lightsaber into the ocean. Then he turns around. Han's gone. And now. I didn't see this coming. I thought this was like some like sort of a joke. I'm like, okay, he's in the light. He's gonna turn back to the dark again towards the end. But we'll obviously get into how the ending happened. But so that happened. So back to the other one. So Rey listens to Palpatine, and she ignites the lightsaber. And as she's getting ready to kill him, the background I don't know who those people were. They all were wearing hoodies.
They were supposed to be like,
Sith Lords.
Yeah, but they were all supposed to be like, I don't know if they were real. If
they weren't real. They
were just, if they were like, like the Jedi have the Force Ghosts. Maybe some Sith has the same type of thing, but they're not Force Ghosts, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's like they're like that, but different.
Yeah.
Because they didn't do anything. They didn't act in any way. You couldn't see their faces. They didn't help in any way. They just made this weird chanting type of thing and not sharing.
I couldn't really understand what they were chanting, some sort of Sith Lord chant. So as she's getting ready to kill him, she puts her lightsaber behind her and gives it to Ren. Now Ren is in a different room or somewhere, and he kills all the Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
And so Rey faces off against Palpatine's guards. I couldn't really tell. The fight scene happened so quick. Were they the guards from Return of the Jedi, the red ones, or were they? Because they were wearing red.
No, I think they were a little bit different. The ones from Return of the Jedi had different weird-looking helmets that kind of came straight down.
Stick shafts.
Yeah, those guys didn't have that. They look like stormtroopers just with red instead of white.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. So then Palpatine basically like blast her, like say, "Oh, you should have joined," and all that. And then Ren shows up, and so now it's them two up against him. So then Palpatine grabs them and just yanks all the energy out. And then he changes, so like his eyes go yellow, and he doesn't really de-age that much. Nothing really happens.
He sucked like the force out of them or something.
The ghost.
I forget what they call it, but it wasn't their soul, but it was something.
Their spirit.
No.
Spirit. That's what Palpatine said.
No, I thought you said it was their...
It was the spirit of them.
Oh, I didn't think that's what he said, but whatever. I mean, he sucked out their energy. At least maybe that's what he called it.
And then this is where the other cool scene shows up. So as they're both lying down, Kylo gets up and he's like, I'm not done. Let's still. Then Palpatine basically pushes him away, and he goes down whatever.
Some type of a void. It's like a hole in the floor.
And we all thought he was dead. I thought he was dead. I'm like, yep, that's it. He's gone. So now it's just Rey, and then. The cool scene was this. So as Rey's lying on the ground, hopeless, helpless, there are these voices that start coming through. And I'm like, no way. And then you can hear Mace Windu, Yoda, Luke, Anakin.
Yeah, what's his name? Guy from...
Phantom Menace?
Yeah.
Qui-Gon,
you heard his voice.
He was in there.
I don't know if Obi-Wan's voice was there.
He was in there.
Was it?
It was very faint, though, but he was
funny how they all kind of gave her,
advice,
to, get up,
rise. And that hinted the title, because it's a Rise of Skywalker. And she finally gets up with the two lightsabers and says, we're not done. This is not over. You won't win. And so Palpatine uses his lightning, and she has the two lightsabers, and then she outpowers him, and then he basically dies.
Basically disintegrates.
Now, this is different because now I know you know that I don't read books, but I caught a book online that I was just skimming through it, and it shocked me to the way how Palpatine dies in the book. According to what the book said, it said that Anakin returned, and basically use his Force Ghost power to take Palpatine to the Netherworld and basically killed him. He did some sort of a power that killed his spirit, and basically he died, and he got sent to the Netherworld. This was different, but I just thought it was something cool and something different.
Books should add more to a lot more to the different stories that have been happening in the movies.
So basically, he dies. He's gone now, and the Resistance wins because, Poe Dameron, he's like the only one left. All the Resistance fighters are dead. They're all gone. Well, Poe, Finn, and a couple others, they're all alive. And all of a sudden, Lando comes through and says, "Oh, there's more of us." Then the whole ship's spot. That shocked me. I was like, yes.
There was a lot of ships that showed up to help out. Didn't even go outnumbered. I don't know, probably like 10 to 1. There was a lot of ships that showed up.
They definitely won. I knew them. Like, they're done. First Order's gone. Empire, whatever. And I point this out in the previous trailer we did, the one that dropped on Monday Night Football. And I'll point it out again. I don't know if you noticed it. I said this to you a few times, even off camera too. When all the ships show up, the Falcon is in the middle, right?
Yeah.
The ship to the right, that's from the TV show Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the Ghost. Not Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels. For those that watch the TV show, you would know that's the ship from the TV show. And I thought it was cool because J.J. Abrams did teaser we would get some sort of a Clone Wars Star Wars crossover, and I thought it was cool. But the one thing he did lie about was remember Ashoka, the Clone Wars character? Yeah. He said that.
I heard that she was supposed to be in it and that she wasn't.
So unless it's in a deleted scene,
it
was supposed to be some sort of a cameo. I heard, but I thought I was kind of looking for it because before I went, like, Ashoka's going to be.
I was hoping some of the Force Ghosts would actually show up instead of just hearing their voice. They would actually.
That's something I was a little bit disappointed about.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that would happen.
Because there were rumors that Anakin was supposed to show up, and they were supposed to all help Rey beat Palpatine.
Instead of just their voice, and that's all you heard. They didn't actually, show them.
Unless some of them did appear, and it's in a deleted scene, but we don't know. Then obviously, they get back to the jungle plan. They're all celebrating and hugging. One thing I am proud that Disney and Star Wars finally bought in was LGBTQ representation.
See, I didn't like that. So I don't know why people. It's not nothing I have anything against it, but why does it have to be represented in everything? Not that it's. Like I said, I don't have a problem with it, but I don't know why people make a big stink about why does it have to be in everything. I mean, it's okay if it is. I just don't know why. I mean, I don't care either way, but I don't know why people have to talk like, they better have this in this movie. Why can't they have this? I don't know.
I support LGBTQ. I do, and I thought it was cool that they managed to put in an LGBTQ scene in it. I know there was a lot of criticism, but like I said, I'm for LGBTQ, so I support it all the way. But I thought it was something cool that Disney finally added into Star Wars, so I'm proud of that. So obviously, they're all celebrated, and Rey shows up. And then, as they're celebrating, there's 2 planets they showed. And it was awesome. I was shocked, too. From the originals, they brought back Bespin and Endor.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was...
They showed the Ewoks, yeah.
I thought that was cool. Now... supposedly there was another plan. Remember how their light speeding jumped multiple times? Yeah. I don't know if it was a Clone Wars plant, but it was, do you remember it? Was like the sky was blue, then there was like these tall...
Yeah, I don't know what plant that was supposed to be.
I thought it looks very familiar. It looked like some Clone Wars plant, but I don't know, it could just be something. But, and so then Rey goes back to another original trilogy planet, Tatooine.
Yeah.
And she goes back to where Luke Skywalker was born, and that shocked me too. She's riding down the hill with the metal plate, and I think, and she buried the lightsabers of Luke and Leia in the ground. And I thought that was, respectful, paying tribute to the former masters that taught her. And then all of a sudden, this lady comes by. Now, I don't know if, it could have been any of Luke's relatives because they got shot and killed by the stormtroopers in episode 4. But she asked Rey, like, who are you? And she goes, I'm Rey. And then she goes, what's your last name? Then out of the corner, I thought like, okay, this is it. All the Force ghosts are gonna appear right there.
That's what I thought was gonna happen.
And it was just Luke and Leia. I'm like, but at least they appear. She goes, I'm Rey Skywalker.
Yeah.
And then basically they look on the sunset and the movie ends.
Yeah, that's why it's a Rise of Skywalker. It's supposed to be Rey.
Now, the question that still wasn't answered for me was one, how did Palpatine survive and get to the unknown regions? We knew it was planned. That was addressed. We knew whose Rey parents was. We knew she was a Palpatine. But the other question that I still want to know is Rey all done with Star Wars? Is this it for Daisy Ridley's character? Or will she be back? Not just her, but for Poe and Finn and Chewie.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Lando.
Because, I mean, I just don't see how they just... It's supposed to be making more Star Wars. How do you not talk about them? How do you not have them like cameo or something? I don't know. I don't see how you just...
According to Kathleen Kennedy, who's the president of Lucasfilm, she said that, even though this is the final movie, of the Skywalker saga, she said that this may not be the end of the Skywalker family just yet.
Yeah.
So basically, she's saying like we have plans for Rey and all them coming back for future trilogy film. Now I don't know if they're gonna be making more trilogies or they'll be like episodes, but they really won't be like named a trilogy. They'll just be movies and different names. I don't know, but I'm really hoping Disney makes more because. I thought this movie was awesome. I thought they did a great job, good storytelling, great conclusion for the original characters.
I think for all the different characters involved, they did a good job closing it all up for pretty much everybody.
That's a hard job for Abrams. I know he said he wasn't good at endings, but I thought he did a fantastic job.
It kind of blows my mind. I mean, I heard... like I saw the thing on Rotten Tomatoes, and there's videos, other YouTubers make videos criticizing, oh my God, this movie's garbage, this movie's trash, this movie's terrible, nobody's going to go see it, don't go see it, it's not really Star Wars, if you're a Star Wars fan, you won't go see it, Disney's just trying to get you to pay money.
I agree.
I'm sorry, I grew up with Star Wars.
Me too.
I played Star Wars, video games and board games and toys and all sorts growing up. And I like Star Wars. I like this movie.
I grew up watching
other people don't like it. Don't watch it. Don't why criticize? If you don't like it, or you're not gonna like it, or you think it's gonna be terrible, why do you continue to talk about it?
Exactly.
Just move on. Like don't like it. Why put other people down because that they enjoy it?
Yeah.
And it's always I see so many YouTube videos. Oh my God, I can't believe you're not a real Star Wars fan. If you go see this, I am a Star Wars fan.
Me too.
If you don't like it, too bad. It's just the way it is.
I mean, I'm only 18 years old, but I grew up as a kid. My father got me into Star Wars. I played some of the games. I play Battlefront 2 sometimes. If I ever have time. I love Star Wars. I will always be a Star Wars fan. So no matter how good or bad the movies are, I understand it's only one movie that got a lot of people upset and a lot of people didn't trust Disney anymore. But as a young person, to those that do hate Star Wars, that's fine. You can hate all you want, you can trash it all you want, that's fine. That's you. But I think it's just not right that you badmouth it and curse about it, and because there are Star Wars fans, kids that love these movies, and you should not go out and just badmouth it because these kids do deserve to love Star Wars.
Well, I think people want to badmouth, they have the right to do that. But it's like don't criticize. I think that my problem is that people who criticize other people for enjoying it. If you don't like it, you don't have to like it.
I agree
don't
with
tell
you.
me what I'm supposed to like and not like. I like it, so just too bad. If you don't want to see it, don't go see it.
Don't see it.
Don't watch it on TV. Don't talk about it. There's no point in just if you
if you don't even like Star Wars, don't watch it again. Don't watch it at all.
Yeah, we up and enjoy this. Like I said, I like this movie. I thought he did a really good job. I wasn't a huge fan of the second one, but I still watch it multiple times. There's still parts of it that I really like. There's a couple scenes I didn't like, but I'd still watch them. Still a fan of it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Another thing I do want to mention. I'm sorry for cutting you off. Another thing cool too that I do like in this film is how Palpatine told Kylo that he was the one that created Snoke.
Oh, that's right.
All this time.
Yeah, there was like that tube thing with all these different
aliens.
Yeah, they all look like Snoke. So I don't know.
That's another thing that never got answered for me. Is, well, I know we never knew about these aliens, but I want to know, where did these aliens even come from? Did Palpatine have the power to just magistically craft them, or did he kill these things and make them Sith evil? And I thought it was cool too, because when he was telling Rey, like, oh, I'm the Sith of all Siths, I'm the biggest Sith of them all. Like, that reminds me of the scene in episode 3, when Chancellor Palpatine was telling Anakin about Darth Plagueis. And he was basically saying Darth Plagueis, he died, but then he came back as a like some sort of a clone or a ghost or something.
No, he said he couldn't. He said he wanted to try to. He had the power to save other people, but he didn't have the power to save himself, and that's why, Palpatine said that he killed him, because he's like, it's funny.
He killed him in his sleep.
He had the power to save everybody, but he couldn't save himself. Like, so.
If he couldn't save himself, then how's he back in this one?
No,
that's something I want to know.
No, Darth Plagueis was the wise, was not Palpatine. Palpatine was Darth Sidious, who killed the other guy. The other guy.
No, I know that. I get that. No, but I'm saying what I'm getting is, you're saying Darth Plagueis could save others, but he couldn't save himself.
Right.
So that means if Plagueis dies, he never comes back.
Right.
But like I'm trying to say is, if Palpatine got thrown down the Death Star 2 shaft and got severely injured,
his power that he had.
But where did he get it from?
No, being a Dark Lord of the Sith, like he said, must have had the powers to keep him from dying.
Yeah, but Plagueis was the Dark Lord of the Sith too, and how did he not master that power?
I know. Well, apparently he must have mastered it, and he got more powerful than any other Sith.
And he probably just didn't tell him.
So nobody really knew. So they thought he was dead, but he really wasn't. Probably just injured really bad. It took him a long time to, heal to get somewhat back, because he still couldn't walk. Yeah. He still was like floating on that thing.
He was like on like some sort of life support.
One part that I did, we talked about it on the way home, I didn't like, was when Rey and Ben Solo, and they kiss at the end there.
Oh, that was.
I was like, how does this? That part is just kind of like.
I want to say
this. It came out of nowhere.
I want to say this. I'm not saying it was a bad scene. I'm not saying that. I just think it's unnecessary, because you look at the other films, there's not really that much romance in them. The only romance there really was Anakin and Padme.
No, there was one with Han and Leia.
Well, yeah, that's true. But like, I'm talking about, like, like how Vader fought Luke, how they were father and son. Like, Kylo was a bad guy and Rey's a good guy. It's like, I thought that just wasn't right, because it's like, well...
I think it's because he turned back to the light side, and she, maybe because of the connection they had, that's how they get in each other's heads. So
that's another thing too. Will we ever see Kylo Ren return?
I didn't like how he dies, and he just disappears after the kiss, which I didn't really get.
I'm like, okay, he's gone.
Why he died, but okay, he's gone now. So maybe he's not really gone for good. I don't really know.
So the number of deaths in this film, we have Kylo, Palpatine, Leia, and Hux died. He turned.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was supposed to be the spy, but he wasn't.
He was really the guy that gave the resistance.
He wasn't really a true spy, because he just wanted to have the power for himself, so he didn't want Kylo to win. So he wasn't really a full spy.
Yeah, so he died. So is that plus resistance fighters?
Yeah.
So that's based. So yeah, 4 people: Hux, Palpatine, Kylo, and Hux.
Right. I think we should try to wrap this up. We've been going for a while.
So, out of a number 1 through 10, what would you give this film?
I'd probably be like at least an 8.
Why an 8?
I don't
thought
know,
it was great.
8.5. I don't know. There's a couple scenes that do a little iffy, but overall, don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it felt really, really good sci-fi movie. Really felt like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And the story was excellent. There's just just a couple scenes here that I thought were a little off. That's all. I mean, but overall, the different plans they showed, the different characters, the different spaceships, how they played homage to Andor, Tatooine, Bespin, certain things, and they talked about like the music, that was from different movies. Just a lot, of bringing back some of those old memories from those older movies. I thought they did a really good job overall.
I agree. See, if it wasn't for this man, I wouldn't be watching Star Wars. So
that's right.
So give it to the GOAT. But no, I'm just kidding. But no, if I were to give it a 1 through 10, I would give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
like I said, it's just because some scenes I really. I'm not saying they were bad. It's just I just don't think they were necessary, or they could have been changed. But overall, great movie, great conclusion.
Yeah.
I'm going again next week to see it, so two times. But I think they'll end it here. So for those that like Star Wars movies and all that, I hope you enjoy this review. And for those that have already watched it, I also hope that you enjoy us about our discussion. Feel free to comment down below. We would love to hear your opinions on the movie. And if you want any future Star Wars content, always comment down below, or always give us a subscribe and like. But yeah, I think we'll you got anything else to say?
No, I think that's gonna do it. So if you guys like this, again, don't forget to hit that subscribe,
like, comment, tap that bell, and if you want future Star Wars content, subscribe to this channel.
Yeah, you said that.
And peace.
Yeah.
And the trade shows.
Yes, until next time.